Good morning, and thanks for joining us. I'm Twanda Black, your host. And joining me this morning, Stephen James Dixon, relationship expert and author of Men Don't Heal, We Hoe, a book about the emotional instability of men. I used to always leave out the emotional part. How you doing, Stephen?
I'm blessed. I'm amazing. How are you?
Amazing as well. It's good to be amazing. Today, we're going to talk about the thrill of the chase. And what do you do when somebody doesn't want you?
Yeah. The thing that's funny about this article that I wrote for Essence.com on my blog called The Relationship Report is that normally when we talk about the thrill of the chase, we're talking about men chasing women.
Right.
And I wanted to put a twist on it today, whereas I did some research and really thought about it, and I talked to my pastor about it. And one of the things he said was that the thrill of the chase in the woman is actually more real than the thrill of the chase in the man.
Really?
And the way, and the way I went ahead and broke it down for the article was I made an example of, with a man, our thrill is actually attainable. And oftentimes, the thrill that the woman wants is not attainable, or they should not be trying to attain it.
Wow.
And the way I came up with it was that men, when you talk about the thrill of the chase, you're talking about men chasing new women. Mm-hmm. It's something new. It's something that has not occurred yet. It's something that has some possibility based on your characteristics, quality, what she's looking for in a man, things like that. You can actually acquire your thrill. Conversely, women are oftentimes chasing something that is old, something that's not been working. When I'm talking about the thrill of the chase in a woman, I'm talking about a woman that's staying in a relationship too long, waiting for a man to come around, waiting for a man to stop cheating, waiting for a man to ask her to marry him, waiting for a man to get a job, waiting for a man to move in or move out with his mother or deal with his baby mama or deal with his drama. And so I'm saying that thrill in women to make a relationship work is more of a chase. Whereas in men, our thrill is more about, okay, she's attractive, men are visual, so we like what we see. So to us, we feel like we can complete our thrill.
But for us, it's different.
Yeah, for women, it's more. Women, your thrill is not about new at all, and we've always said that, with the thrill of the chase is about the man acquiring something new, which is correct.
Yeah.
But that thrill is not as superb, or the immediacy of it, or something like that. For men, is not as glorious as we can see for women, because women are studying relationships or staying in relationships too long that have oftentimes already proven to be bad. Every day women are coming to me and saying things like, and these are the things you can find in the article, Thrill of the Chase, why women want men that don't want them back. I talk to women every day who said, although I've never been on a date with a man, we've had sex.
How's that?
Yeah, how's that possible? Why are you in that relationship? Why are you admitting verbally to me and to yourself that you've never been on a date with a man, but you're having sex with him?
Wow.
A woman started out with the other day said, I got in an argument with my man and he beat the crap out of me.
Really?
Yeah, like, why are you calling me? I'm a relationship expert. Why are you calling me about your relationship, hoping that I give you some advice on how to make things better, when you're already admitting that he beat the crap out of you? It's time for you to move on.
That's a deal breaker. That's right. You're out.
Right.
I'm out.
It's time to go. What is your thrill? What is it that he's doing to you that's making your thrill so superb that you are seeking some help to make this thing work? I can't make that work. I don't want to make that work.
But you know what? That's all an inside job. When you think about the things that women do and we do in secret, but we're so happy to have that man, that says a lot about us.
Yes, and it goes back to something you and I talked about a while ago when we said that you want that male. You don't have a man, you have a male.
Yeah.
And so throughout the article, I'm just giving examples of things that real women say to me every day. Another woman said, my man seems to be content in collecting unemployment, hanging out with the boys and smoking weed. Like, that's your man. Like, how can you say that? Like, how can you reach out to me?
She taking ownership. No, she taking ownership of that.
Right. Don't say my man.
Right.
At least say this guy.
This guy.
This guy I was dating, or this guy I used to be dating, or this guy I used to have intentions on marrying, or whatever. Don't claim him.
When she say my man.
Right. Right. You know, another lady said, my man is always on My man, again, is always on Facebook or Twitter flirting with other women and things like that, and I don't know how to handle it. What you mean you don't know how to handle it? I can't handle it for you. You got to be grown woman. You got to have some backbone.
No, you got to care about yourself. And you know, it's a pride thing. But a lot of times we drop that just for that man. For whatever reason, we want that particular man. And we'll go after a man. We'll tarry long for a man. Long and hard. And just be waiting. You know, I'm going to do this and I'm going to do that. And you wait for your opportunity. You setting stuff up. You making plans. You doing all kind of stuff. And that man doesn't even know you're alive.
At all. And you talk really about two things I tell women all the time. Number one is, as a woman, if you don't respect yourself in a relationship, then no one in a relationship respects you.
That's right.
No one. If you don't respect yourself, we are not going to respect you, period. Stop thinking. I talk to too many women who feel like, well, why don't a man just respect a woman anyway? That's not really how we operate.
Right.
We're going to do what you make us do for the most part, the average man.
I say this all the time. You teach people how to treat you. And when we teaching you how to treat us, then it's on. Yeah. But if we don't, you're going to treat us how you want to treat us. Yeah.
And then another thing I tell women, and what you pointed out was, oftentimes a woman will have one particular man that for some reason the thrill in that man is so amazing, like we said earlier, that she's like, I've got to have that man.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I'm more concerned about women who are saying, I want this man who is no good, than I am concerned about a man saying, hey, I want that woman over there who's available, who's not dating anyone, not in a relationship, and may be interested in me. And so when you're saying the thrill of the chasing a man, that woman may be interested in me. So it's actually opportunity there. It's actually something that could take place and be worthwhile, meaningful. Maybe I'll marry her one day. Who knows? But the thrill of the chasing a lot of these women, you're chasing a man that may never marry you.
Right. And who really not interested in you.
At all.
And I, you know, on the flip side, I've heard men say, yeah, you know, I really wasn't interested in her, but she just kept pushing. So I gone and gave her what she wanted. And now she is, you know, like really on me. I said, but why did you do that? Because you knew what was going to come out of it.
Yeah.
It was just going to get worse.
Yeah. Another misconception, too, and I talked about this with a women's group over the weekend, is how oftentimes women are like, well, doesn't he feel like he's wasting his time?
Yeah.
And I'm like, no, as long as a man is having sex, we don't think we wasting our time. We pretty much good. Like, that's pretty much, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I mean? Like, women really say it to me, like, well, doesn't he feel like he's wasting his time, that we've been together 5 years and we're not getting married? Like, doesn't he want to move on to marriage? And, no, we not. We kind of good, just chilling, having sex. Like, we're okay with that.
Not if that switch has not been turned on. Not if he is not ready to marry. Until he gets ready. It ain't happening.
We good.
Am I right? Am I right?
No, and I got that question too when a woman said, when is a man ready for marriage? And I said, I can't put a blanket statement on all men, because we all arrive at different places depending on what we're doing.
That's right.
But I said, really, I don't even like that question, because that takes the focus off of the relationship and puts the focus on the man. And really, as a woman, you got to define what you want out of the relationship, not necessarily what you want out of the man. So, and what I mean by that is, if the relationship is going the wrong direction, then we don't care about the man.
Yeah.
You know, if the relationship is bad, or he's not ready to get married, then we don't care about the man. Move on. Date more, leave earlier. I tell women all the time.
But we don't do that. We stay and we stay, and because we have hope. I think that's the biggest thing for us. And it's false hope, but we have hope. We just hope. I hope it's going to get better. I know he's going to change. I can love him through it. I can make it better. You.
Yeah. Yeah, the thing about hope is, when I talk to women about hope and expectation and all those things, hope and expectation need to be derived by what you see and not what you desire.
Right.
You know, so it's too many people hoping that their husband is going to come home every day and not cheat and blah, blah, blah. If he was cheating on you when you were dating, he's going to cheat on you when you get married.
Thank you, because it ain't going to make no difference.
Ain't going to make no difference. If he doesn't have a job when you're dating, then he's not going to have a job when you get married. And so you're hoping that when you get married that he gets a job. Well, why are you hoping that? What have you seen that makes you want to hope for that?
What, your future determines your past behavior? Past behavior determines your future?
Right.
Because that's all we have to go on.
That's all we have to go on. You have to look at what's realistic and say, okay. So what happens is you have women and men. Men do this also time to time, and they'll say, okay, I want this out of my spouse, and the person you're dating does not meet that criteria. And so you're sitting around hoping for them to meet that criteria, to meet that expectation, and they never will. You just have to say to yourself, hey, this person is not for me. It's not going to work, and you got to move on.
Or they put on that fake thing, and they do the things you want when you're dating, and then when you get married, they say, I do, and then they say, I don't.
Yeah, that's really disappointing. I had a couple that reached out to me lately. What a wife said that the husband flat out told her, I was doing some things to get you, and now that we're married, I'm not motivated to do those things anymore.
Exactly.
And he just admitted it point blank, and it was very disappointing, because that's when I feel like you're wasting your time, because really go get somebody that you think you can love and grow with and be with for the rest of your life, instead of wasting, a couple years of a person's life. It's disappointing, man.
It's not fair. It's really not fair.
Relationships are just so bad right now. Just really, really bad. To all my sisters out there that are single, don't worry. You know what I'm saying? Don't feel like you're missing out right now. It's just so bad. Like, we got to date better. We got to be smarter. We got to be more selective. We got to be more responsible in who we date. We have to have our own value for ourselves. That's right. And we got to correct all those things before we start being in relationships.
But I say date more, and I don't know if you agree with that, but I think I dated a lot, and dating does not equal to sleeping with. No.
Right.
I dated a lot, and if there were things that just were not a match for me, I was honest and said, you know what, we're not compatible.
Yeah.
And some of the guys really understood that. They appreciated that. Some of the guys said, no, you didn't give me a chance. You didn't. Look, this is about me.
Yeah.
This is about me and what I need and about what I want. It's not whether I gave you a chance or not. I gave you a chance to be in my company and to show me yourself.
That's the chance you get.
Yeah. And that was it. That was it. And and then, again, it is about you. It's not about him. It's about what you need and about what you want. And see, that person's going to come along and have what you need. And I'm not saying he's going to be perfect, but he's going to be perfect for you.
Yeah. Yeah, my number one principle for women is to date more and to leave earlier.
That's right.
So I definitely support dating more. And I'm always telling, I wrote some other articles for Essence called How to Ask a Man Out on a Date. And check those out. And what those are about is, I said that women can ask a man out on what I call light dating. Yeah. Like, you can take him out for coffee on a Saturday afternoon. Maybe you just want to get some dessert, and you say, hey, man, do you want to tag along?
Yeah.
And you can do don't ask no man out to dinner. Don't take no man and buy him no Cavassier and Coke and Crown and Cristal and all that. Don't do that. Just say, hey, let's go have some coffee Saturday afternoon. Let's have some dessert on Sunday afternoon.
Right.
And that's how you make a man know that you're interested and available. Women have to do two things. Make a man know that you're interested and available. After that, that man has to pursue you, and then you start applying the date more and leave earlier. Don't put all your eggs in one basket. Don't think he's all world.
Because what's interesting about that is that sometimes men really don't know. They just can't figure us out. So they don't know whether we're available and whether we're interested. I've heard many men say, well, I really can't tell if she's interested. What can't you tell about? Well, she did this and this, but she did this and then she did this and this. And we give them mixed signals. So a lot of times they really don't know. We think they may know, but they don't know.
Especially when you got women like yourself, Twanda Black, very successful, on the radio all the time, big personality, well known around Atlanta. Twanda is intimidating a lot of men. There's a lot of men that are going to be afraid to approach you for different reasons, because she's all this and all that. Brothers out there listening, Twanda Black is good people. Go ahead on and holler at her like she regular. Let me go put that plug in for you.
But I am, and I this happened to me at an event, and somebody came up and said, this guy over here came to this event to see you. And I said, well, tell him to come over and say hello. Well, he's afraid to say hello. And I said, why?
Your big old personality.
Right. And I just thought, wow, that's so sad, because I'm not even like that.
Not at all. She's not fancy like that.
I'm regular, but he never did come by. I saw him, I waved at him, and that was it. And he could be my soulmate.
Right. And so that's why I go back to telling women, hey, it is your responsibility to say to a man, especially a man that you're interested in, to say, hey, I'm interested in you and I'm available. Now, that doesn't have to be, we're saying those words, but you don't have to use those words. You can do things like wink at him, smile at him, eye contact, say hello, things like that. A lot of times, if you look the part and you look like someone that's a match for a certain man, if you say make eye contact, he'll take over from there.
That's right.
We don't need a lot. You know what I'm saying? Let us know you're interested. Okay, we own it. We getting it popping.
This dating thing is really interesting, and I know a lot of us are alone by choice, but do it the right way and you'll get the results that you need for yourself. But first of all, you've got to know what you want, and then you've got to know who you are, and then you don't accept anything less than what you want.
And then the last thing I really talk about with all this dating thing is that really it's too often that people stay in these bad relationships and you're missing out on the person you're supposed to be with.
He waiting. He over in the corner waiting for you to get out your mess.
Right. So that's great that you are woman enough to say, hey, man, I like you and all that, but we're not compatible. Right. And, I'm wasting some time here or whatever. Because the one that maybe for you may be sitting in your reach, in your grasp, but you're spending so much time with this guy that you're never going to marry.
Right.
That you're missing out on the one that God has for you. And so that's why you have to date more and leave earlier. See, we don't really talk about the leave earlier part as much, but we need to leave bad relationships earlier. And then when I talk to women who say, well, dating is a waste of time, I say, no, staying in a bad relationship is a waste of time.
That's right.
Dating is not a waste of time. Get out, let a man spend some money on you.
Dating is fun. Yeah. It's I have one of my best friends. He said, go on out there and get that free meal, girl. That's wrong, but that's how guys think. That's how guys think.
Go get that free meal. We're gonna pay for it. You know what I'm saying? I got homegirls who tell me, yeah, I'm hungry, I'm about to call somebody, go get something to eat. And men, but at the same time, if that man get his sex that he wants, then he feel like he paid for it, and everybody happy. I guess I don't know.
Wow.
Dating is tough right now.
That's rough. But get to know people too. Spend some time on the phone, at the park, wherever, not in your bedroom. And spend some daytime. I always say spend some daylight hours with that man.
Saturday afternoon.
And get to know him. Really get to know him and the family and where they came from, how they grew up, because all of those things shape that person. And it's very important that you know those things, So the thrill of the chase, ladies, if that man don't want you, please let it go. Let it go. Tell folks where they can find your book and your articles.
The Relationship Report is on essence.com, right on the homepage. Facebook, me, Stephen James Dixon. Twitter, Stephen J. Dixon. Definitely look out for the audio book on iTunes. That's really doing well. Getting a lot of good feedback from men who don't read as much. Ladies, get your man the audio book if he's not a big reader. And definitely reach out to me with your relationship questions at Stephen James Dixon at relationshipbeast.com. I appreciate you having me on this morning, Twanda Black.
Thank you, darling. I'll talk to you soon.